Hey guys, it's Teacher Moody again. I just wanted to. I received a lot of messages. Some of you guys wanted me to give a lecture on question tags. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and just explain and give you some crucial information about it. This is all about you knowing how to use auxiliary verbs, and you cannot. It is difficult to actually know how to use auxiliary verbs if you don't know tenses. Okay, because these auxiliary verbs actually come from the tenses that you already studied. So for example, you have auxiliary verb. For instance, in present simple we have what auxiliary verb? Anybody knows? It is, we use do or does. Okay, so do or does we're going to use with present simple. So present simple, sometimes you find a sentence in present simple that do not have an auxiliary verb. For example, I play football. I play football is difficult because I told you that or the notes show, okay, that you have to use an auxiliary verb in order for you to use to be able to construct a question tag. Okay, so in for us, for example, in that statement, it is difficult for you to be able to actually use an auxiliary verb. Why? Because you don't see any auxiliary verb. Okay, I play football. So you have to decide in what tense is this statement. So that statement is, for those who study tenses, you know that is a present simple. So what do? You have to figure out what auxiliary verb do we use in present simple. Okay, you come to find out that is do or does. So you also, the next part is deciding, okay, so which one should I use? Is it do or does? Okay, do or does. Why? Because depending on the subject, okay, is how you decide that. Okay, here I'm supposed to use does instead of do, but because the subject is I there, then we use do. Okay, so after that, after deciding that part, you also have to decide, is it negative? The statement, was the statement negative or positive? If the statement is positive, which it is in this case, because it said I play football, it is positive. So the next side has to be negative. So instead of using do, you use a negative form for it, which is don't. Okay, if it was does, which does goes with subject she, he, and it. Okay, so if it was does, then we could have said don't. Okay, doesn't, sorry, doesn't instead of does. Okay, if the statement is negative, the other side has to be positive. So you always have to be careful with that. Let's see present continuous. In present continuous, okay, in present continuous we use auxiliary verb is, am, or are. Okay, so is, it goes with a subject. For instance, if you're talking about he, okay, a male, okay, that is a boy, okay, or a gentleman. Okay, she, a lady. Okay, it, an animal or a thing. Okay, so you always make sure that you use those auxiliary verb. So negative for is isn't. Okay, or is not. Okay, negative for are is okay, aren't or aren't. Okay, negative for am is aren't. Okay, don't say empty, no. Okay, there is no empty. When it comes to negative, okay, for example, if somebody says I am a teacher, okay, the question tag will be aren't I or anti. Okay, you can say aren't I or anti, okay, because that is a pronunciation for aren't I. Okay, you can say anti. Okay, so that is present continuous. For example, if somebody says she is a teacher, the question tag will be isn't she. Okay, if somebody says she is not a teacher, the question tag will be is she. Okay, one side positive, the other side has to be negative. Also, let's look at present perfect. In present perfect, auxiliary verb there is has or have. Okay, so for example, if somebody says I have spoken to John, then because that is positive, the other side has to be haven't I. Okay, if it's negative, for example, she isn't she has not, okay, she has not bought a car. Okay, it's gonna be has she. Okay, so one side is positive, the other side is negative. When it comes to question tags in past simple, we use the auxiliary verb there is did. Okay, so negative form for did is didn't. For example, I went to Moshi, or I went to London. Okay, I went to London. Okay, the question tag will be okay, because that is in past simple, the question tag will be didn't I. Okay, so guys, just be very careful with your tenses, and also the auxiliary verbs. They're very important auxiliary verbs. So in past simple, we know we use what? Did. Okay, negative for that is didn't. So remember, if one side is positive, the other side has to be negative. And also, let's go to past continuous. Past continuous, the auxiliary verb we use there is two. Okay, two of them, which is was or were. Okay, so for example, I was cooking. Okay, the auxiliary verb is was. Okay, I was cooking becomes wasn't I. Okay, wasn't I. Okay, I was cooking, wasn't I. Okay, I was not cooking becomes was I. Okay, so just remember those. And also in present, in past perfect, remember we use our auxiliary verb is had. Okay, had. So had, the negative for had is hadn't. Okay, hadn't. Okay, hadn't or hadn't. Okay, you can pronounce them in both ways. So for example, I had spoken to my friend. Okay, I had spoken to my friend, hadn't I. Okay, I had spoken to my friend, hadn't I. Okay, or I had not spoken to my friend becomes had I. Okay, okay, very good. So that is a question tag for past perfect. Let's go to future. Future, we know our auxiliary verb is will. Okay, we used to use shall, but that is an old English. So nowadays we don't really, it's not recommended, or it's really not a must for you to use shall. Okay, we can use shall for other purposes, which I will cover in the next, okay, in some other subjects that I will be covering. Okay, but in this case, just know in future simple we use auxiliary verb will. Okay, so will becomes the negative for will is will not. Okay, or won't. Okay, you can say won't. So if somebody says a statement, if the statement says, okay, I will speak, okay, I will speak to John, okay, then what is going to be our statement again? It will be won't I. Okay, I will speak to John, won't I. Okay, if the statement is negative, I will not speak to John, the question tag will be will I. Okay, very good. So let's go to the next one, which is future continuous. We know future continuous. Okay, I will be cooking. Okay, I will be cooking. Okay, I will be cooking food. Will be will not be used in question tags. Why? Because in future we only use we always construct question tag with simple future. Okay, so with that, why and how is that, I will cover in the next program. But for now, just know that future we only use question tags with future simple. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this subject, and I just wanted to say that this are actually very important. Okay, for those who are asking, I've never had anybody using this, is because they don't have that knowledge that you have right now. So you should start using it. Okay, why? Because it saves time, and you know we are in a economic time. Okay, this time is very crucial, so we don't have time to waste. If you want to ask somebody, okay, you went to Moshi, didn't you? Okay, if you want to ask somebody that about the doubt that you have about something, okay, or the something that you know, okay, and you want clarification, you can use question tags. Okay, instead of spending a lot of time trying to explain yourself, you can just use what question tags, and that person can clearly understand what is it that your doubt is and what is it that you're trying to find out, and bam, you will be on your way to speaking English and understanding that, okay, time is money. Okay, guys, time is very important. So always try your best and you will be fine. Okay, thank you very much, guys. I hope you guys are having a good time. Okay, and I will see you in the next episode. If you have any question, again, you can always leave a message there, and then if you have something that you do not understand on the notes or anything that you saw on the blog, you can always say something. And I wanted to say something to some special people in my life, Midle, Sharif, and Osman, if they happen to come across this, that guys, you're very good, and I'm very proud of you, and I really do care and love you very much, and I hope you're having a good time, and study very hard. Okay, yes, thank you, guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode.